5 reasons why marriages are on the decline. Changing social norms and priorities. We live in a world today where people focus on individualism. People care about their personal growth, they care about their freedom, they care about their careers and development. So people are just focused on me. Self, 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 self. I want to keep everything that I've worked to myself. I want to be able to free to do what I want, when I want, and I want to get the best out of life. So our social priorities have just changed. And because we're focused on the individual, it's put us off marriage, or it's just prolonged it and we ended up avoiding, and we figure out it's a bit too late and just don't end up getting married at all. Number 2, economic uncertainties and financial pressures. I know you've heard this phrase many times. The cost of living, inflation, prices are at an all-time high. Everything you go to buy is now expensive in comparison to what it was 5, 10 years ago. And your salary hasn't increased. So people nowadays, when they want to start a family, they want to be financially free. They want to be secured. They want to have their properties. They want to have their investments in place. They just want to make sure that they are safe. And with the cost of living rising, properties, the cost of houses rising, everything rising, the government's always in your pocket. If you made a penny on the side, they want to know how much you've made and they want a piece of it. So there's just no room to grow. So a lot of people nowadays are tending not to have families because, like myself, me and my wife are currently trying for a kid, and we've been blessed financially, spiritually, and we have the opportunity to start a family. We have a solid foundation in which we actually can grow upon. But that is one of the reasons why marriages are on the decline. Finance. People just can't, or they believe they can't afford to have a family and get married. Increased acceptance of alternative lifestyles. Nowadays, people who are in a long-term relationship are now having children's without marriage. And this has become more common and is definitely more socially accepted in comparison to our grandparents or our parents' ages. For example, when I went to a family reunion a couple of years ago, and I just like to just speak to the older lot, and just all my parents' friends, my grandparents' friends, they all were married with kids before the age of 30. And that also ties into the other reasons of why people are not having marriages or why they're on a decline. They were more freer back in those days in comparison to how things are now. Um, it was the norm. They felt like they had to. So if you feel compelled to do something, you're more likely to do it. And if it's a tradition, you're more likely going to stick to that tradition. The only reason why it was very important for me to have kids before marriage is because My great-great-parents were married before kids. My grandparents were married before kids. My parents got married before they had kids. And for me, it's just a tradition, and it just aligns with my personal value. But that is one of the reasons why marriages are on the decline, because it's socially acceptable to not be married and have kids. Before, high divorce rates and the fear of failure. Now, this is actually important because I actually had a conversation with a family member who was thinking of having children, or who is planning to have children, but he's not married. And I was like, why don't you get married? He's like, there's no point because there's so many people getting a divorce, and he feels like it's a business, and because there's so many people getting divorced, he feels his relationship is going to end in a divorce. So instead of going through the whole process, why not just cut out the marriage part and just have a family anyway? And that's just because so many people are getting a divorce. It's easy to get a divorce. In the United States and a few in the UK, they even have divorce parties. If you've gone or if you've hosted a divorce party, shame on you. Honestly, shame on you. Because that's just promoting negativity. You're just making it okay to fail. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And honestly, just shame on you. And that's pathetic. And if you've ever been to a divorce party and you're proud and you're happy for your friend, I mean, it's just shame on you. It's okay to get a divorce. I'm not saying that. But to make it so grandiosa and make it so lavish and like this is a luxury experience, that's just disgusting. That's just like promoting sex. No, there's some things that you just keep private. And that's just another one of the other reasons of why marriages are on the decline. A lot of people don't want to go into something where there's a high percentage of it not working. That's why a lot of people don't tend to go for their goals, because there's only a very small amount of people who achieve their goals. So they just settle for the basics, you know. Evolving gender roles and gender expectations. A lot of women nowadays have the independence to do as they please. They can earn a living themselves. They can earn a career. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want, then by all means, go ahead and achieve it. And I wish you all the best. But this is another reason why marriages are on the decline. Because a long time ago, as sad as it is, women were told they have to be subservient. They have to be subservient to a man. They have to get married in order to be secured, for security. Today is not the case. Women can do anything and everything that men can do. So it's just giving them a sort of independence where, hey, if I don't want to get married, I don't have to. I can go out and have fun. I mean, to be fair, it's women who are damaged goods, they don't really shame it as they did before. You know, people are proud to be so easily attainable, which my personal views is pretty sad and disgusting, because I believe that your private parts is a very spiritual and is very high value to the person. And I just believe that sex should be an experience with people who love each other. But the way society is going nowadays is we've become so desensitized to things we should be sensitive to. And that's another topic in itself, actually. But yeah, that's the fifth reason of why marriages are on the decline. Gender roles are changing. Women are more independent. thank you very much for watching. As again, I hope you found some sort of value. Don't know if you ever asked the question why marriages are so low in compared to previous years. Hope this gave a bit of an explanation. And thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and give me a comment. Is there something that I missed? Is there something that I could, or there's something that I was wrong about? I'd like to know, because yeah, information is interesting, and to get other people's perspective is very interesting. I'm not always right, so I'm always open to learn. But I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.